Before we jump into today's episode, I just want to say that this one might ruffle some feathers, and really, I'm okay with that. It's not about calling anyone out or any one demographic out. It's about calling in a conversation, one that's rooted in compassion and accountability. We're diving into something that has really come up a lot for me lately in the therapy room, in real life, and maybe it has for you too in your own mind. And that is, where is the line between resting and resisting, between setting a boundary and avoiding responsibility? Let's get into it. You are listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, which invites you along on a journey to learn of mindful living, grow in mental health, and inspire through personal growth. In a world where we can often feel much stress and overwhelm, this podcast provides bite-sized tips and real talk conversations, empowering you to embrace mindfulness and nurture your full potential. I'm your host, Vanessa De Jesus Guzman, licensed therapist, retired educator, entrepreneur, and mom of two. I'm passionate about helping busy moms reduce the overwhelm and live life intentionally without losing their, well, here we go. Hello and welcome to episode 266 of the Free to Be Mindful podcast. I hope that you're feeling good, looking good, and doing better in this world than you were yesterday. So as I mentioned in the intro, before we even get started, this episode might be filled with unpopular opinions. And again, I am really okay with that. If you, for any reason, disagree or have an alternate thought or want to call me out on something, please, by all means, I do invite having the conversation because disagreeing over big topics is important as long as it's respectful. And when I was at first making my notes about this episode, I thought that it was only about young people. And after doing some reflection, it's not, although I still feel that the majority may fill in that bucket, but you may still be a little bit older and still have this apply to you. And I want to make one thing clear. Despite being in my 40s, in my heart, I'm young at heart. I like to believe that anyway. Working with kids and having two young kids helps to keep me relevant. However, I will be really honest with you. When I get out of the bed in the morning and my feet hit the floor, I feel my joints. And when I work out, I feel my knees. I'm sitting at my son's baseball games in the bleachers with no back support. I definitely feel my back, regardless of the jean jacket and hoops that I'm wearing as I'm recording this, which you can see if you're watching on the YouTube channel. So, getting into it, obviously, as a therapist and working with kids for so long, I appreciate where we are as a society and in mental health. Making space for mental wellness is obviously super important. And when I hear young people setting boundaries, I'm always like, okay, check them out. Looking at them putting themselves first really brings a smile to my face because it's something that perhaps those who are around my age weren't really taught. But, and this is a big but, my question is to you, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line between mental wellness and our responsibilities? Because I also often hear young people say things like, I don't have enough bandwidth for that today. Or I'll have to get back to you when my schedule opens up. Or I only have 5 minutes left in me. I'll do what I can. Or I can do one thing and not the other, but I can't prioritize both. And listen. All of these things are fine if you're talking about something small or not important. They really are. However, again, I ask you, where do we draw the line? Because, for example, if you're a teacher, you can't show up and say, I only have 5 minutes left in me, so you'll have to entertain yourselves for the rest of the period, right? As a police officer, you can't say, I can only attend to one emergency for the night, but I can't do anything past that first one. As a therapist, I can't show up and say, I don't have the bandwidth to take on that type of emergency today. So let's pin that for our next session. It just doesn't work that way. And I can understand that maybe working in a cubicle or behind a screen, that's much different, obviously, than the service industry. But when it comes down to it, Isn't a responsibility regardless of what line of work you're in? Is you know what I mean? When a boundary feels more like a wall that we're hiding behind, and when self-care is really procrastination in a cozy robe, when saying no feels safe, but maybe it keeps us stuck, then we really have to have this conversation and see where it is that all of these things are really coming from. Because we've all been there, myself included. We push something off and tell ourselves, I'll get to it eventually. And then we don't. Or we think we're protecting our peace, but maybe we're just avoiding discomfort, commitment, or maybe even potential growth. I've had moments myself where I've convinced myself that I was setting a healthy boundary when really, in hindsight, I've noticed that I was just burnt out or maybe just scared or just stuck in my head. And I've also been on the receiving end when someone drops the ball and then it impacts more than just a meeting or just a calendar. It then can impact trust, which is a really big deal. Because here's the thing, whether it's a personal goal or a professional dream, a relationship, or just wanting to feel comfortable in our skin, we're all aiming for something, even if it's rest and relaxation. But to get there, we have to show up, folks. Not perfectly, not all at once, but we do have to show up. And when we do, it should be with presence and with intention. Sometimes we all just need a gentle check-in, really asking ourselves, am I really setting a boundary there or am I avoiding something? Know that a healthy boundary comes from clarity, self-awareness, and care. Saying things like, I can't take that on right now, I'm already at capacity, or I'm going to reschedule because I need rest is in those buckets. Again, clarity, self-awareness, and care. But avoidance is just a little bit more slippery. Avoidance sounds like, I can't deal with this right now, or I just don't feel like it. And trust me, all of those feelings are valid. I'm not trying to do away with where you're coming from, but I do want to make you aware that they're not always helpful. Because, yes, it's okay to rest. We need our rest. That's something that I preach on as far as my mindful living framework. It's okay to pause, and we protect our presence when we pause. But if we stay there for too long, then we may start using it as a shield instead of using it in a healthy way. So the big question is, how can we tell the difference between these two? Because there is some overlap there. I want you to think about you've rested, but you still aren't making moves. You want the results, but you still aren't taking action. You're afraid of what starting might mean, like messiness, mistakes, or not being enough. And maybe you're using the I don't feel like it as a catch-all when really there might be something deeper going on. And yes, sometimes we're lazy. I hate to just say it like that, but sometimes that is the truth. And even Bruno Mars said it best. Today I don't feel like doing anything. Excuse my singing voice. But it's funny because it's true. Sometimes we just don't want to do anything. And it's important to take those pauses. But what happens, my friends, when one lazy day turns into a lazy week and then a lazy season? Here's what helps me and what I share with my clients too. First, compassion first. Instead of beating yourself up, really ask yourself, what have I done well lately? So that you don't fall into that pit. Then take small steps. Don't tackle the mountain, just tackle the next 5 minutes and then take the next step. Celebrate the small wins. Know that progress counts, even if it's slow. And lastly, name your why. What's on that other side of your effort? Is it peace, purpose, relief? Name it. And then there's discipline. That's a not so fun part of the equation, but it matters. Discipline doesn't mean, by the way, rigidity, that you don't have any flexibility. But what it does mean is reliability, showing up for yourself the way that you show up for everyone else. So be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, am I pausing to refill my cup or am I stuck in avoidance? Am I resting or am I just resisting? Am I tired or am I just scared of what comes next? When we can sit with those questions without judgment, don't forget that part, without judgment, then we may give ourselves a chance to really reset and make space for progress and for possibility. And when we're clear on our why, and when we're kind in our approach and consistent in our actions, then that, my friends, is where the real growth happens. Do you really know how to calm down when stress hits? Or maybe you're looking for ways to help your kids relax, but you're not sure where to start. These are common issues for my kid and mom clients. And after years of providing bits and pieces from other resources, I have finally created a comprehensive resource for my clients and for podcast listeners like you. This free resource provides you with 120 coping skills to navigate big feelings. This guide is filled with simple yet effective strategies to help you manage emotions and to help you find peace. And knowing that oftentimes a list just isn't enough, with your download, you'll also get access to a series of supportive videos which will guide you on how to use this resource and show you how to put these strategies into practice for everyday life. So are you ready to make that change? Click the link below to download your free guide. It's time to empower yourself and your children with the skills for a happier, healthier life. So I hope that this conversation, again, maybe it made you twinge a certain type of way when you first heard it, especially in the introduction, but I hope you see where I'm coming from. It's not filled with a judgment or why can't you just do it all? Because again, my friends, we all can't do it all, nor should we. It is important to rest. But again, ask yourself, where are you just avoiding those steps of taking responsibility into your own hands? And where is it that you truly do need the rest? And when you can't find that, that's where seeking professional help or seeking help outside of yourself is really going to come in handy. So I want you to now bring something to mind that perhaps you've been putting off. Maybe it's starting that workout. I know that's what it is for me. Maybe it's that project. Maybe it's calling that person back. Or maybe it's emptying that closet. Without any judgments, just awareness, bring that thing to mind. And ask yourself softly and with kindness, am I really resting or am I resisting? Am I honoring my limits? Or am I avoiding what I know I can handle? Take a breath and breathe into that space of honesty. And on your next exhale, I want you to release any sense of guilt or of shame. Because no, you're human and you're out here doing your best. On your next inhale, invite in clarity into your mind. And on that exhale, release the pressure of needing to be perfect. And repeat quietly to yourself, I can be gentle with myself and still take action. I can rest when I need to and rise up when I'm ready. And I can move forward one mindful and intentional step at a time. Allow those words to really settle into your body. Go back and rewind and repeat if you need to. And I hope that this clarity can stay with you. Remember, my friends, you don't have to do it all. You just have to take the next right step. And also remember that in a world where you are free to be anything, you are always free to be mindful. Thanks so much. Share this episode with someone who you think might need to hear it. and I'll catch you next time. Free to Be Mindful exists because of viewers and listeners like you. If you're enjoying the podcast or felt this week's show resonated with you, please take a moment to leave a rate and review on the platform where you catch your favorite shows. That quick and easy act allows me to see what you're enjoying so I can deliver more personalized content that focuses on learning, growing, and inspiring. It also helps others find the podcast too. Don't forget to subscribe so you can listen along next week. And if you can do me the favor and share this podcast on social or with a friend who may benefit from the message shared today, that would be truly appreciated. In the meantime, I welcome you to follow me on social media across all platforms at Counselor V. De Jesus for more fun content. And remember, my friends, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Catch you next week.